So welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today we're talking about automation and innovation in the hemp and cannabis industry. We are here live at the World Trade Center. I'm here with Arnar and Denny. They're with Greenvault Systems. I'm here with Jason of 420 Wholesale Pack, and then there's Andy of Poseidon Asset Management.
I wanted to talk to Jason about headset data because in 2015, flower was the largest segment. We saw the overall market share decline from 64% to 58%. Pre-roll products barely held on to their position as the second largest segment back then. Pre-roll saw nearly 90% of their sales at a price point of less than $10 each. So profit margins declined in 2016 slightly in every category except flower, edibles, and pre-rolls. The average retail cost per gram in 2017 declined by over 25% to just over $15. And wholesale price was as low as 8 cents per gram last year. So with the addition of equipment and automation, can increased volume make up for lower prices?
Depending on, I guess, the regulatory structure, the business model, or time scale, it could kind of go either way. But one of the, I guess, benefits, I mean, most people look at it as kind of a pain right now, but we already have really reduced prices in Washington State. And so I think in a way that maybe is a little bit of a blessing when it comes to automation, because generally automation is what drives that price down. I don't think there's a whole lot more room to go down, at least in Washington. There might be some room to automate and scale pricing in California, it sounds like, but that'll get sorted out even without automation over a few years too, because we saw obviously $4,000 or $5,000 pounds when we started, and we're nowhere near that. So I think one benefit that we have is the fact that we do already have extremely depressed pricing. That I don't think there's much room to get lower. And some of the big players already do have some pretty large scale automation in our state. And so I think it's more a factor of finding those automated solutions for the small and medium sized players so that they can automate without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on each individual piece of equipment. You know, finding those $5,000 or $10,000 solutions that really help you compete. You know, you're never going to compete with the big guys, but you do need to have some level of automation, in my opinion, even if you plan on being a craft boutique type of farm, because labor is in any business a very expensive thing, and it's going to continue to get more expensive. You know, we just in our state, we just got $15 an hour in Seattle, and it might spread out to the whole state. It sounds like there's a big push nationally, so that's also driving automation, I believe, just outside of cannabis, just as a whole. If all of a sudden you got to pay $15-$20 an hour to pay a human, it's going to drive those factors even more.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that, technology these days is becoming less and less expensive. So, just for example, you can buy, Raspberry Pi controllers on Amazon for, $100.
Right.
Those same controllers, 5 years ago, it cost you $500.
Yes.
And that's what got me into the industry, was trying to automate my grow room. I brought in a couple guys from Amazon to make an Arduino automation system. So we brought that to the wine industry, brought it to a few wine merchants and told them we could increase their yields by 40% instead of using the timers by day, you're using lumens and humidity and soil moisture, because Red Mountain is probably got better wine than anywhere in Sonoma Valley. And that mineral content is different on whatever slope of the hill. If you have water content that's soggy at the bottom or dry at the top, all of that is into consideration. So you need automation, and all that stuff is a lot more affordable.
Yeah, full 1200 DPI label printer 10 years ago was completely unattainable to any small business. Now you can have one for $10,000.
Right. It sits on your table.
And it sits on your table. So automation's getting a lot more affordable, and unfortunately now there are automated solutions that are effective that a smaller type business, I think, can afford, especially once we get the banking thing resolved. That's really the big one that we're going to be talking about.
But I'm curious if the addition of equipment and automation can increase volume to make up for lower prices within the cannabis industry.
Every manufacturer is working ultimately to have a profit margin, and any automated process needs to be aiming to maintain or increase that profit margin. So the minute you create efficiencies, which saves on labor and increases capacity, then obviously the machine is an asset to cannabis producers.
And with that, I really appreciate you all being here with me today. So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is your Cannabis Business Podcast, The Talking Hedge. like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.